Thank you, Sean. On behalf of the City of Overland Park, the Council, and many others in this community, I want to extend a heartfelt condolences to the family members of the victims. Today is a tragic shooting of 3 people that marks a sad day in the City of Overland Park. The City of Overland Park, along with local and federal law enforcement agencies, are actively investigating this case, and it is believed that there is no additional reason for concern at this time. It is during tragedies that we, the community of Overland Park, and the greater Kansas City community need to pull together to ensure the safety of all. Rest assured that law enforcement agencies are doing everything they can to solve this. Thank you. Chief.
I'd like to echo the words of the mayor, and on behalf of myself and the members of the Overland Park Police Department, today is a very sad and tragic day, and certainly there are no words to express the senselessness of what's happened this afternoon. As you might imagine, we are only about 3 hours into this investigation, so consequently, while there is a lot of innuendo and a lot of assertions flying around, there is really very little hardcore information. But we will try to provide that information to you as we know it, and we will try to debunk or deal with any rumors that you might have heard or you think are established. But again, I caution you to understand there is not a lot of information that we can verify at this point in time, and I cannot and will not speculate on conjecture. What we do know is that the initial call came into our dispatch center at 1:03 p.m. And that first call regarding shots fired was from the Jewish Community Center, which is located at 5801 West 115th Street. Several shots were fired at that location, and witnesses stated that the suspect left the location soon after. There was one immediate fatality at that location, and this is in the back of the Jewish Community Center. And then there was a second person in that same area, probably in the same car, who succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. Several minutes later, we received a call from a second location of shots fired at Village Shalom Retirement Center, and there was one fatality at that location. The suspect was taken into custody by our department without incident in the parking lot of a Valley Point Elementary School, which is 123rd in Lamar. At this point in time, we have 3 confirmed fatalities. And basically, that is the confirmable information we have at this time. I will answer any questions. I would ask that you address them either to me or Mike Cast, who is the special agent in charge of the FBI, whom we've requested come in and be part of this investigation. As was mentioned before, if you have questions about prosecution, we have both the state representative and Mr. Steve Howe, and we have the U.S. attorney, Mr. Barry Grissom. So with that, I'll answer what questions I can.
Is this considered a hate crime at this point? Is this considered a hate crime?
It's too early in the investigation to try to label it. We know it's a vicious act of violence, and you know, obviously at 2 Jewish facilities, one might make that assumption, but we're going to have to know more about it before we'll label it.
Chief, have you been able to confirm there have been numerous reports that the suspect, while he was sitting in the back of a patrol car, said "Heil Hitler"?
The suspect in the back of a car made several statements. We are sifting through and vetting those for accuracy, number 1, and number 2, we're looking at them for their evidentiary value. It's too early to tell you what he may or may not have said, but we're trying to determine what that was at this time.
Can you tell us anything about the suspect, male, age, race?
We have a suspect, and again, I would caution everybody to understand suspects are not convicted. Suspects are people of interest. This gentleman is in his 70s. He is a white male. He has a beard, and outside of that, there's not a whole lot I know that I can confirm.
Name?
We're not releasing his name at this point in time until we have the opportunity to do more investigation. No, he is not a
Commenting on injuries. Any other injuries?
There were 3 fatalities. There were 2 individuals who were shot at, one extremely close and one was not hit. So we have a total of 5 people who were shot at. We have the back doors of the community center, which has sustained substantial damage. We're not certain if that was bullets that went past the original victims, or whether it was deliberately and intentionally created.
I'm sorry, did the fourth person sustain injuries? Was the fourth person injured?
No, the bullet passed very close to him but did not injure him.
Is the suspect local? Is he local?
No.
Can you tell us, Chief, what weapons he used? Long rifles, guns, multiple guns?
The only thing I know for a fact at this point in time is that there was a shotgun that was involved. We are exploring the possibility that a handgun was involved in shooting at the two persons that he missed, and that we are looking at the possibility of an assault rifle.
Walk us through where the suspects ended up shooting these people, in the location, two different locations. Walk us through.
At the back of a community center, if you're familiar with a community center, is a theater. That theater has large double doors that allow people to come in and out and exit during periods of time when the rest of the center is closed. It was right in front of there in the parking lot at a vehicle which we believe belonged to the initial victim, right there in that parking lot.
Right outside the theater, in the circle?
Yes.
So they
Well,
first-
I can't say it's in the circle, but it's right close to it.
He was shot, he was in his car, and he was shot in his car.
You know, I don't know specifically. He was at the car. I can't tell you if he was actually sitting in it or he was at the door.
And the second person was either at or in the car, too.
Yes.
What about the second location? What about the second location at the retirement home?
All I know about that was I believe it was in the parking lot.
Was it an employee or?
I don't know.
Again, so we understand, the first were shot with a shotgun outside their car at the community.
A shotgun was involved in the first one. Whether there were other weapons involved, I don't know.
Is the FBI calling in additional resources to investigate this case?
At this time, no. We're working right here out of our Kansas City office.
Any other suspects being looked at? Any other first look out?
As the chief said, it's just entirely too early right now to comment on anything like that. We're really just hours into this investigation, and we're going to work jointly with the Overland Park Police Department.
The chief said the suspect is local. Can you tell us